Look at this poor Lian Li case. It is seeing better days for sure. I found this while I was thrifting and I got it for a price of $16. And if you've been in the PC space as long as I have, you know what you're looking at right now. This is one of the Lian Li PC-60 Plus cases that came out back in 2003, and it was all aluminum. I mean, I would have picked one of these up if I could afford it. I mean, these things were like anywhere between $130 $160 brand new, and I didn't have that kind of money back then. But if you could buy it, this was like the Cadillac of computer cases back then. It was elegant, toolless, it was ahead of its time. It had a motherboard pull-out tray. I mean, look at the Newegg reviews. I love that they have these things cached still, or even though they're not selling them, you can look at what people had to say about them. And I mean, the expansion slots are perfect for a retro build. You got tons of 5 1/4, 3 1/4. You got lightweight design, aluminum, toolless, and airflow, which is amazing. And this is, I even found an old Antec review pretty much confirming everything I'm saying about this case. I mean, it was a very well loved case back in the day, and I'm so glad whoever had this computer before just decided to donate it instead of throw it away, because that would have been a disaster. I mean, this case is just something that does not need to be thrown away. She's a little dirty now, but I think I could get this thing cleaned up pretty good, looking brand new, or at least close to it. And yeah, look at that, $150 brand new. So let's crack this thing open. I haven't actually looked at to see what the computer was inside, and honestly didn't really even care, because when I saw the case I knew I wanted just based on that. Let's crack this thing open and check it out. Not really sure what I was expecting to find, but I knew I was going to find something probably high end. I mean, we got an Asus ABN-SLI Premium. Video card looks pretty basic. Let's pull it out, get a closer look. Looks like a 7200 GS. I'm actually surprised it wasn't a more higher end card, to be honest. But hey, nice to have. The sound card's got to be the smallest expansion little card I've ever seen. But we're going to gut this thing out, and yeah, let's make a magic happen and do the build. And just like that, with YouTube magic, it's all done, clean and ready for a case peel. Man, whoa, let's just back up a little bit. How did we get here? So I thought it'd be fun to take the September 2003 Maximum PC issue, and I don't know if you guys ever read Maximum PC, but every September they always had a Dream Machine build that was ridiculous in every way, and I always wanted to build one. So I got my hands on an ABIT IC7 motherboard and the Pentium 3.2 gigahertz that they used in this Dream Machine build, and I can't think of a better pairing than this legendary case with this legendary Dream Machine build. Now, this was more geared for like an XP machine back in the day, but I think this will make an excellent high-end Windows 98 machine. I mean, look at how much this thing cost back then. $10,985. Man. And we get to build it today for pennies on the dollar. Minus the FX 5900 Ultra. I wish I could find one of those, but those things are... they're about the same price back then as they are now, so good luck with that. But let's introduce you to the video card that I did pick out for this. And I picked none other than the Sapphire Radeon X800 XT Platinum Edition from ATI. This card came out in May of 2004, had a 500 MHz CPU clock, DDR3, 256 megabytes worth of it. You had to be a baller to buy this thing back in the day. And if you adjust that for inflation, that's a whopping $785. That's almost like buying a 5070 Ti today. I feel pretty confident that we can beat their 3D Mark 2001 SE score of 19,260 and make it more than damn fast. At least we could only hope, right? And while thrifting, I found this Thermaltake TR2 M12 all copper heatsink. I was amazed when I found this for $14. Like, you can't find all copper heatsinks cheap anymore, especially for these older sockets. And keeping them cool is a huge challenge. And that in combination with the Lian Li's airflow, I'm super excited for this build. So let's get to it. Let's take all the old stuff out. And one of the cool things about this case, the front panel IO has a detachable cable that you could connect. So you can connect everything and then just, while it's out of the case, and then just connect it right into the harness. Freaking amazing. I mean, I thought I'd try to think of everything. Even the power supply mounts from the front, you just slide it in. In this case, we're sliding it out because we're not going to use this old power supply. There's no way I'm going to power these rare, expensive parts with the unknown tested power supply. So, and yeah, she a little dirty. I'm gonna get that cleaned up. It's nasty. Who knows what that is? Sometimes things shot in 4K is, you know, it's not always good to have high definition for some things. But this front panel is a beast. It's all aluminum. And with 4 screws, you just take 2 screws off on each side, pops right off. Thing's a beast. So I got the new, or the ABIT IC7 mounted to the motherboard tray. Now we're just going to pull off the old heatsink, the old crappy stock heatsink that Intel gave you somehow, thinking it would keep your stuff cool. I wonder Pentium 4s have such a bad rap. There's our 3.2 gigahertz Pentium 4, 800 megahertz front side bus. And to my amazement, I wouldn't have used the old thermal paste that this came out with, but I was very impressed that this stuff is still pliable. Look at that. I'm pretty sure I could have used this and it probably would have been fine, but I'm not going to take that chance. I'm going to go ahead and just clean that old stuff off, put some MX4, a whole bunch of it. It's probably the most controversial part of this video. Everyone has their own way of doing thermal paste. I like to put more. The X with the dots. It's not conductive anymore, so it's not going to hurt anything. And I'm going to show you how this mounts on there. If you ever find this on eBay, or who knows, if you find it at a electronic recycler like I did at my local electronic recycler, EE Surplus. I couldn't believe I found this for $14. I was really excited when I found it. But yeah, it just clips right on. And it was, to be honest, one of the easiest heat sinks I think I've ever installed. I think it's easier than the default one, or the stock one rather. But yeah, it just clips right on. No issues. Just make sure you have the clips caddy corner. I learned that. There was nothing in the box that showed you how to put this on. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but as long as you have the clips caddy corner, you're good to go. You just slap in the Radeon X800 XT Platinum Edition. And for sound, gonna go with the old trusty Vortex 2. Seems to be I use that for all my builds lately. Slide it in. Oh man, the motherboard trays, I miss these so much. They're so awesome back in the day. I wish that trend would come back, but I guess it would cost them 5 cents more. And the smoke test. looking good. He even posted. Very nice. All the fans are spinning. They sound good. I don't hear any rattling. I don't need to oil anything. I'm sure Lian Li used the really good quality fans, and sure enough. But yeah, let's go ahead and install some Windows, get everything set up, and do some benchmarks. Let's see how fast this Dream Machine actually is. But before we do that, we have to do the case peel. Oh, so nice. Why is that always so satisfying? I could not believe when I bought this used case, they did not do the last peel of this case. So feels good. Feels right. Let's get to the benchmarks. Stop staring. Let's get to those benchmarks. What are we still doing here? All right, and first up on the list, we got Quake 2 with OpenGL. And this is what it looks like when you're completely CPU limited. Hardly any change from 640 by 40 to 1600 by 1200. But getting close to 400 frames per second in almost all resolutions at maximum detail. I'll take that any day.
Welcome to Quake 3 Arena.
Quake 3 fully patched. And again, just like Quake 2, getting CPU limited, but getting close to 300 FPS across the board, even at 1600 by 1200. Not bad, not bad at all. Unreal has given me the weirdest results with this video card. I cannot explain why in 800 by 600 we get more performance than any of the other resolutions. It makes absolutely no sense to me. My guess is maybe this video card is slightly too new for this kind of game. I don't really know. I've retested it and I get the same results. So yeah, we're getting 122 FPS and 640 by 480, 126, 800 by 600, and 1600 by 1200 we're getting 70.54, which is very odd. But this is what the results. Still not bad. Over 60 FPS in all resolutions. 3D Mark 99. In the standard default benchmark, we're getting 20,149 marks. And at 1600 by 1200, we're getting 17,263. In 3D Mark 2000, with the standard default benchmark, we're getting 18,520. And in 1600 by 1200, 32-bit color, we're getting 17,636. And with 3D Mark 2001 second edition with Windows 98 with the standard benchmark, we're getting 18,961. Unfortunately not beating the Dream Machine with the Nvidia 5900 Ultra. I imagine maybe some of that has to do with the fact they're running XP in that, or maybe we're being severely CPU limited regardless. I mean, we're getting really close to their score. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, it was kind of fun to try to beat it. I have some ideas that maybe I can get that score up a little bit, but or at least maybe I can get, I mean, we're what, like 300-400 points shy from being able to beat the damn fast performance on the Dream Machine. So we might revisit this one. But 1600 by 1200, we're still getting 16,597, which is very respectable. Gotta love it. Wow, did someone say CPU limited? This system would do well with a CPU upgrade, or trying to get, I don't know what the highest end CPU that you can get for this particular board, maybe a 3.6 gigahertz Pentium 4. But wow, we are getting hugely CPU limited in these benchmarks. That being said, we're getting multiple 100 frames per second in all resolutions with almost all the games, especially even with the eye candy features on, which is perfect for what I need. Something to note though, I was getting DVI, I could not get to work in Windows 98 on this machine. I'm not really sure why, but that's something to keep in mind if you're trying to find these parts yourself and you expect DVI to work for you. If you have this combo or something similar and it works for you, let me know, and maybe I'll revisit. But I tried multiple times to try to get to work without any success. So another thing to note too with the ABIT IC7, if you source this motherboard somehow, you're most likely going to need to replace the Northbridge cooling solution that they have. I had to replace mine. It wasn't too bad. I was able to just get a generic solution on Amazon, and I was able to get it to work just fine. The 40mm Noctua fan fit right on there, and I've had no issues with that. Just something to keep in mind. So yeah, what do you guys think? Dream machine? I think so. That all copper heatsink kept it cool. That Lian Li case, I think this is a nice build, and it's nice to see it all come together with multiple trips of trying to find computer parts and all that stuff. So, and yeah, if you liked this video, just let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.